morning children. In the previous class we learned about natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational and irrational numbers. Already we know that the definition of all these numbers. And once again I will revive that. Natural number means the number starts from 1, 2, 3, 4. That set of numbers we called a natural number. Whole number means the numbers which are stands from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These numbers we call as a whole numbers. Integers means the numbers stands from 0, positive numbers, negative numbers, these are all we called as a integers. And rational numbers, the numbers which are in the form of p by q. This type of numbers we called as a rational numbers. Irrational means the numbers which are not in the form of p by q and the denominator q should not be equal to 0. This type of numbers we called as a irrational numbers, and set of all these numbers we called as a real numbers. Based on this concept, let us solve few problems. First, let us say true or false. Some statements they given, these are true or false, we have to write. In that first one, every irrational number is a real number. Yes, every irrational number comes under a real number. It is true. Next, second one. Every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. Every point on the number line, already we know number line means one line they given, in middle 0 will be there, right side we have to take positive numbers and left side we have to take a negative numbers. These are all whole numbers, and integers also is there. In this we cannot be marked as a root m, that is irrational numbers. Therefore it is false, because every point on the number line is not in the form of irrational. It may be rational also. That's one, it is false. Third one, every real number is an irrational number. Every real number, in real number only we will get irrational, rational, whole numbers and integer. But real number does not become a irrational, either it may be a rational number. That's why it is also false. Next, come to one more problem. Are the square roots of all positive integers irrational? Square roots of all positive numbers is irrational? No. Square roots of all positive numbers is not a irrational. It may be a rational also, because square root of all positive integers may be a rational number. First they asked, are the square roots of all positive integer irrational? No, we wrote. Next, question is continued. If not, if it is not an irrational, give an example of the square root. If this statement is wrong, we have to write the example. No, because square root of all positive integers may be a rational number. For example, square root of 1 is equal to 1 and square root of 4 equal to 2, square root of 9 equal to 3. Here root 1, root 4, root 9, these are irrational only. But square root of that we will get a rational number. Therefore, square root of all positive numbers is not an irrational. It may be a rational. Therefore, the example will be root 1 equal to 1, root 4 equal to 2 and root 9 equal to 3. Let us come to a new concept, real numbers and their decimal expansion. Real number means if I am taking a rational number is in the the form of p by q, and denominator, that is q, should not be equal to 0. If one number is divided by another number, for example, take a fraction. Fraction means if I take 1 by 2 or if I take 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. In that two cases we will get. Sometimes remainder we will get 0 and sometimes we won't get a remainder 0. In that two cases we will get. Remainder becomes 0. Second case, remainder never becomes 0. See here, if I take a rational number, that is in the form of p by q, remainder should not be equal to 0. It is the condition for a rational number. Any number is divided by another number. Two cases we will get. In one case, remainder becomes 0 and another case, remainder never becomes 0. For example, if I take 1 by 2, if I take 1 by 2, divide 1 by 2. Okay, 1 won't come in 2 table, take decimal point and 1 0, 2 5s are 10. Subtract these two, we will get 0. Okay, here remainder we got 0 and quotient becomes 0.5. It is an example for first case. If remainder we will get 0, this type of fraction we will call, or this type of rational number we called terminating decimal expansion. Terminating decimal expansion. Why we call as decimal expansion means if this number is divided by, if 1 is divided by 2, we will get a decimal quotient. That's why this one we called as a decimal expansion. And in this example we got a remainder 0. That's why if remainder we will get 0, that type of decimal expansion we called as a terminating decimal expansion, and it is the example for first case. Next, second case, remainder never becomes 0. For example, if I take 1 by 3, divide 1 with the help of 3. Take again decimal point because 1 won't come in 3 table and 10 does not comes in 3 table. Take less than 10, we will get 9. That is 3 3s are 9. Divide, subtract it, we will get 1. Again already point we gave. Once again we have to take 0. Again 3 3s are 9. Again we will get remainder 1. Again if I divide this one, we will get remainder 1 only. If you done in all, so many steps, we will get remainder 1 only. We doesn't get remainder 0. And in few steps, whatever the question is there, same remainder will repeat its again and again. This type of decimal expansion we will call as non-terminating. Non-terminating. And see here, in quotient place 3 is repeating continuously. That's why this is we called as recurring. Non-terminating means remainder we doesn't get 0 and in quotient place same numbers will repeat continuously. That type of decimal expansion we called as recurring. Therefore, in this example, remainder we doesn't get 0, that is 1 coming continuously, and in quotient place 3 is repeating. That's why this example we called as non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. Based on decimal expansion, let us solve few problems. 36 by 100. This one we should write it in a decimal form, and what kind of a decimal expansion, that is terminating or non-terminating, we have to mention. First one, 36 by 100 is there. Let us divide these two. Take a decimal number 0, 100, 3s are 300. Subtract it 0, 6 minus 0 is 6, 3 minus 3 is 0. Already point we given, take one more 0, 106 are 600. Remainder we got 0, therefore it is a terminating decimal expansion. Therefore it is terminating decimal expansion. Why it is terminating? Because we got a remainder 0. Like this only. Second one. 3 by 13 is there. Let us divide 3 by 13. Take decimal point, become 0. Divide it. 13 2s are 26. Solve a second problem, that is 3 by 13. Okay. 3 we should divide with 13. Take decimal point 0. 13 2s are 26. 4 remains. Take one more 0 because already decimal point we given. 40 we doesn't get in 13 table. Take less than that. 13 3s are 39. We get 1 is the remainder. Next, 13 3s are 39. We get remainder 1. Again take 0. 10. 10 does not comes in 13 table. That's why take 0. 13 zeros are 0. We will get remainder 10 only. Again take one more 0. 100. It becomes 100. 13 7s are 91. We will get remainder 9. Again take one more 0. Becomes 90. Again 90 doesn't comes in 13 table. We will get less than 90. That is 13 6 are 78. Subtract it. 10 minus 8 is 2 and 8 minus 7 is 1. Take one more 0. It becomes 120. Again 13 9s are 117. We will get remainder 3. See here, 3 repeated once again because question is 3. Again 3 gets repeated in remainder. That's why we should stop the division up to here only. If again divide this one, again we will get 2 in the quotient place. That's why to all these decimal numbers I will put 1 bar. Bar means same quotient numbers will repeat once again. That's why this type of division we will say non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. Why it is recurring means once again 2 3 0 7 6 9 will repeat. That's why it is a non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. Let us solve one more problem. You know that 1 by 7 equal to 0.142857 and bar given. Means same numbers will repeat once again. Instead of writing that all, they gave bar. Can you predict what the decimal expansion of 2 by 7 and 3 by 7? 1 by 7 value they given. Like this only we have to find the value of 2 by 7 and 3 by 7. Right. We know that 1 by 7 equal to 0.142857. They given. Therefore, 2 by 7 value we have to write. 2 by 7 we can write it as 2 into 1 by 7 also, no? Because 2 ones are 2 divided by 7. We will get original form only. That's why this one we can write it as 2 into 1 by 7. This is equals to 2 into, in place of 1 by 7, substitute this value. 0.142857. Now multiply these two, we will get the answer. 2 sevens are 14, 2 fives are 10 plus 1 11, 2 eights are 16 plus 1 17, 2 twos are 4 plus 1 5, 2 fours are 8, 2 ones are 2, 2 zeros are 0. Put bar like this. Means if we divide 2 by 7, the same numbers will repeat once again. That's why we have to put the bar. Same like this only, find 3 by 7. This is equals to 3 by 7 also we can write it as 3 into 1 by 7. This is equals to, keep 3 as it is, in place of 1 by 7, substitute this value 0.142857. Now multiply. 3 sevens are 21, 3 fives are 15 plus 2, 17, 3 eights are 24 plus 1, 25, 3 twos are 6 plus 2, 8, 3 fours are 12, 1 carry 2, 3 ones are 3 plus 1, 4, 3 zeros are 0, put bar. In this way, we can find 4 by 7, 5 by 7 and 6 by 7 also. Let us solve one more problem. 0.6 bar. Bar means 6 is repeating continuously. Instead of writing that, we will put one bar. This 0.6 bar we have to write it in the form of P by Q. That's why let this one we will take it as x. X equal to 0.6 bar. Take this one as a first equation. Now, to this we should multiply by 10. Why we should multiply by 10 means after one number point is there. That's why we should multiply by 10 because 0.6 is 1 by 10th place. Multiply by 10 both sides. 10 into x, 10x equal to, if I multiply by 0.6 to 10, we will get 6.6 because a point should shift here. Take this one as second equation. Now we should subtract these two. Subtract equation 1 from 2. Subtract equation 1 from 2. In equation 2, we should subtract the first equation. We will get 10x minus x equal to 6.6 minus 0.6. Now, subtract these two. 10x minus x equal to 9x. This is equals to, subtract this one, we will get 6. 0.6 becomes 0. 6 minus 0 becomes 6 only. Therefore, x equal to 6 by 9. Cancel it. 3 2s are 6. 3 3s are 9. Now, x equal to 2 by 3. Now, 0.6 we converted in a P by Q form, that is 2 by 3. Like this only, let us solve one more problem. 0.47 bar. See here, bar given only to 7 means 7 only repeating continuously, not 4. Now take this one as x. Let x equal to 0.47 bar. Now to this multiply by 10. 10 both sides. We will get 10 into x equal to 10x. Now, here point after 2 decimals are there. Actually, we should multiply by 100. Instead of taking 100 directly, 2 times I will multiply by 10. In first step, I multiplied by only 10 only. That is, point will shift for 4.7. Take it this one as first equation now. Again to this first equation multiply by 10 only. And both sides. 10 into 10 becomes 100x equal to this multiply by 10 we will get 47.7 because 7 will repeat continuously, no? One more 7 we will get here. Now subtract it. Take this one as second equation. Now subtract the equation first from equation 2. Subtract equation 1 from 2. We will get 100x minus 10x equal to 47.7 minus 4.7. That is corresponding LHS and corresponding RHS both we have to subtract. 100x minus 10x becomes 90x is equals to, subtract these two we will get 43 because 0.7 becomes 0, 7 minus 4 is 3, keep 4 as it is. Now x equal to 43 by 90. These two can't cancel in one table. That's why keep it as it is. X equal to 43 by 90. That is 0.47 bar we converted into a rational number, that is p by q form, 43 by 90.